What is the point in even being alive anymore? In recent times, to go through such a trying, a very hard time where everything becomes magnified, and I reflect on everything that I've witnessed in the past few years. I've watched people throw their lives away for absolutely nothing. Watch them self-sabotage their life. I know people that are younger than me that are no longer alive. And I watch day after day after day of people that live their lives as slaves. They don't have any conscious awareness of what is important in life, and they can't break that loop. To go through the current energies and have no strength, it really gets you to assess the life. And everything that I've had to do over the past few days alone. We take life for granted. As a man that has strength, that goes and does and can do all these things and teach people, and to go through a time period which the whole world is going through. There are many people that are sensitive to the energies we're all going through right now. And it's totally revamping the body. And it's going to be very taxing on the body. But to have no energy to do the things you take for granted, and you say, wow, it's such a struggle to do something so basic. And people take life for granted, and years are being wasted and passing us by. A couple months ago, a good friend of mine, she told me that her son had to lose his arm. He ain't got no arm no more. And, when you start thinking, you say, wow, you have this opportunity. You have your health, which is so important. And I could do all these things, and you could have these beautiful relationships. You could do all these beautiful things and have these beautiful experiences. And there's people in this world that are unable to have these experiences. Yet, when we have our full health, years and years and years are wasted because there are so many people that live their lives as slaves, and it is a concept in the mind. And nobody will budge a finger to do anything about what's going on in this world. When we get to today's lesson today, you will understand what God has planned for you. I love going to the beach. And, a simple task like going and to not have the strength, but to utilize it as the healing that is required during this time. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate you, Eddie. Appreciate it. And to just drag myself to the beach and to just lay in the sun and expose the solar plexus to the sun. To get up and throw myself in the ocean and just float in the salt water as the light of Christ is coming down, and to feel the body get the rejuvenation. This is all stuff from God. And there's people that they don't do any of these things, and I with no strength, with nothing. And I find myself floating in the salt water with the light of Christ coming down. And there are so many people that are concerned with social media, with jobs that won't even be here, with mindsets. None of these things are even going to be here. And when I sat out and I said that the fate of humanity is going to be a free will decision, and those that chose fear and those that chose unconditional love. To go through this and to take things for granted. People wait for, there are things in this world that are already here. And because people paint it out a certain way on social media, they're sitting there and just waiting around. The other day, I had no strength to stand. And, people wait for things like, they say, this magical med bed is coming. We have a red light bed, and I'm you have to stand up in it. And I don't really normally like touching it, but there's like a pole with a fan on it. And I had to hold myself up because I had no strength. And I stood in the red light bed. $40, $50 a month, you find one of these gyms, a place, real things that we have to get up and do. And people are sitting around. When you go through this process and your strength to go through this massive shift, and I know there's many people that are tuned in that are feeling this massive shift, and there is nothing but you and God. Not one person will budge to help. Nothing. Because most of what's out there in the world is weak and fake. Today's lesson. Eddie, thank you again. I love you, Eddie. Appreciate that. God reduced Gideon's army from 32,000 down to 300. This was done intentionally so that upon victory, the whole world will see that the 300 defeated this massive army, and the whole world must acknowledge that the hand of God moved. When you look in the world, and you will see, you might go out there, you might have a mission, and there ain't no one that's going to push it forward but you, brother. People will sit on their hands and they won't do anything. They will actually run away, as they did when the first wave of weak soldiers ran away, and they went down to 10,000, and then they went down to 300. God intentionally reduced the army down to 300 so that the whole world must acknowledge that it was the hand of God that moved, and not all of the fake bull crap that's in the world. When you go out into the world, there's a lot of fake stuff that is propped up. But if you are able to move forward with nothing, with absolutely zero, the world will know that it was the hand of God that moved. People don't understand God. People don't understand what it is to take control and command life. People don't know how to pray. When you pray, You talk with God. You don't talk to God. God will reduce everything so that it is you and God. And you stay connected, right? So there is no help. There is no one. And this keeps you close and connected. And you ask questions. You negotiate and you push back against God. To wrestle with God is the answer. And I'm the best wrestler in the family. Abraham, before God destroys Sodom and Gomorrah, I want to stop right now. What do you see in the world? Is this world about to hit the like button? Push this video forward today. Don't sit on your hand. Abraham, before God destroys Sodom and Gomorrah, does he just, okay, asking questions, but what about the righteous? But what about these people? But what about this? In our lives, we have to create. We co-create. And you are partnering with God. You are partnering with God. You're not groveling. You're not genie in a bottle. To literally feel what I have felt in the past few days. And to recognize, you will recognize what goes on in the world, the mentality of people in the world, the fakeness of people in the world. You might be a person and you feel deeply, and people won't budge. People will be real quick to glorify false idols. But when there are movements, when our children are on the line, and people won't budge, you will see what are the problems of Sodom and Gomorrah. To really reflect in the past few days, and this is where you push back against God. Where how much of our life can be wasted in an unwell world. Where great people are separated. People must realize that can hear the message. They wanted us separate. In a sea of NPCs. In a sea of Hylics. They wanted us separate. But the true power was to come together. And, you know, it's really, you could be a man and you take ownership of your life and you move for years from the beginning of the day until your head hits the pillow and you are responsible for everything in your life, and there is nobody to help you. And you could do it. But the second, and then you start reflecting and you say how precious life is. I have all this strength, all this energy, all this ability, and there is nothing. And yet there are people recently, 20s, 30s, they are no longer alive. Lives were wasted. People that can't continue their lives because they lost limbs. When you get to that place and you can't do the basic things and everything becomes a struggle, you will have the magnification of what is really going on and what is important in life. What is the point in being alive anymore in this modern world? To see people, the way they behave, to self-sabotage, all these there are people, they're healthy, they have it all. and they absolutely waste their lives. I'm too busy. I'm not ready. I'm this. I'm that. And life passes them by. We must not take our health for granted. We must not take anything for granted. We must get up today and start living our everyday lives. To have absolutely no strength and to continue to move in the gratitude of God, the ocean, the salt, the sun, the ability to have things to help us heal. To have to get the strength to go get the watermelon that is needed for the cleansing that is going on in the body right now. And then to reflect, to see all of the fakeness that's in the world when it comes to spirituality. We have to live our life in balance. And the things that we do are for our true health and not a label, not a badge of honor. People gaslight other people because they're just bypassing the true issues that are going on inside. However, knowing the season, knowing the ebbs and flow, I know when the body has a partition. Did you know this? And you have to know and you have to feel. And then there are times where you are consuming things to grow the body. And then there are times where you must cleanse and purge everything out of the body. And you must move accordingly. And there needs to be more joy. I did a video, don't you want to have fun? And there are people out there that are allowing life to pass them by. This time period is very intense. And I'm going to leave you with this. God is in the stillness, not the storm. You will be set alone. I know there are so many people that are tuned into this, and you are alone, not because you can't find anyone, because there's nobody on your resonance. There's a big difference in that. If you are a free spirit, you will sit quietly and you will see the intricacies, you will see the ins and outs of the matrix and what is the problem in this sick society. And people will refuse to budge, to help, to assist. Just like the army went from 32,000 down to 300. If you got this message till the end, brother, it is you and God. And that's it. And this is the journey of ascension. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're new to me, I'm Michael. I discuss ascension, psychology, and quantum shifting. And I make these lessons relevant for the everyday life people. Leave a comment down below if you are feeling the shift occur right now. And if you're questioning, if you're seeing people waste their lives, because I'm here to tell you, we take things for granted, but when it gets really intense, we start, wow, there's all these healthy people wasting the lives because they think they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, and there are so many people that are no longer alive anymore, that are incapable. And when it gets intense, you are going to self-reflect and see the problems in this world. Carl Jung said, the greatest privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truthfully are. Stop wasting your life and stand up for what you believe in. And gather with the truth and leave the fake in the dust. Because in the end, the whole world will see the hand of God move. Appreciate you guys. Thoroughly empty at this point, but we made it through. And if the message resonates, hit the like button and share it to other people. I appreciate you all. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going.